This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and these are very interesting times, very difficult times. On the one hand, you have President Trump set to be the first sitting president to address the March for Life this weekend.
Yeah.
45th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision. On the other hand, you have this kind of building story about Stormy Daniels, this adult film star who was paid $130,000 by Trump,
his private attorney,
allegedly to keep quiet about an extramarital affair she and Trump had in 2006 when he was married to Melania, although she, meaning Stormy Daniels, subsequently denied there was any such affair.
But then 7 years ago, she gave an interview to Insider magazine, and they're going to print that whole interview again.
Yeah, there's In Touch published an interview with Daniels from 2011 in which she described herself as having an affair with Trump, in which she said, among other things, according to 2009 emails. You think this isn't getting bizarre enough yet? We have two more layers. According to 2009 emails between political operatives who were at the time advising Daniels on a possible U.S. Senate run.
Oh, boy.
Okay, take that in.
Didn't hear that before. Okay,
let
me process that one. Yeah.
The adult film actor and director claimed that her affair with Trump included spanking him with a copy of Forbes Magazine. My only question to that is the obvious follow-up.
Yes.
Was Trump on the cover of that issue of Forbes?
Hey!
For more on this and so much more, we're happy to be joined by our friend Bret Baier, Fox News anchor, of course, special report Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. Chicago time, and author of the book 3 Days in January, Dwight Eisenhower's Final Mission. Bret, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. The answer is yes, according to those emails.
He was on the cover? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Well, here's the question, though, about this, Bret. This is a story that in a bygone era would be a bombshell. In this era, it struggles to get any coverage whatsoever.
That's true. I mean, listen, we've covered it on my show.
Well,
I think that we're going to see where this goes. The denial from her, obviously, but the In Touch interview is another layer to it. But it's the Wall Street Journal's reporting on the payment and tracking down money that really is raising some eyebrows, because an LLC was set up a week before the election by Trump's attorney, Michael Cohen. They're denying this to the hilt, and we'll see where it goes. But it's beyond just like a sordid tale in Touch. But
you get the sense that people are kind of responding to this with like a shoulder shrug. Yeah,
I don't care for some reason.
Listen, remember, this is a candidate who got through and got elected after the Access Hollywood tape.
Yeah,
right.
But we'll see where it goes. There's so many things that hit us every day that I think as a news consumer and somebody who does the news, you have to kind of weigh the importance of things as we're waiting for a possible government shutdown.
Yeah, speaking of the government shutdown, quick, easy question. Do you guys have a shutdown countdown clock going on over there at Fox News Channel?
There is a shutdown countdown clock.
Yeah.
And you'll see it on the screen from time to time, I think, today. I don't see yet the numbers in the Senate. I think the president's probably going to put up a tweet here that he would sign a short-term CR, continuing resolution. You may get to a point where they punt for 3 to 6 days to try to get a bigger deal done. But it's sticky. I mean, they don't have the votes yet.
And of course, the issue, the sticky part of it is of dealing with DACA on this, where you have Republican senators digging in on issues not just with respect to DACA and border security, but with respect to dealing with chain migration. There's an op-ed by Senators Cotton, Perdue, and Grassley in the Hill, and Democrats wanting to leverage this because they think it's politically advantageous to do so. They'll shut it down over DACA and then champion the so-called dreamers and score political points, they must believe.
Yeah, I think, for all those people who continue to say, well, this is really something because the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House, in essence, they don't control the Senate because you need 60 votes. They only have 51, and they're losing a couple of their own. So they would have to, anyway, have 9 Democrats sign on to get this through. So that's not really controlling the Senate. Yet it's not a great thing for figuring out how to govern in control of Congress.
Well, what Republican senators aren't on board with this?
So Lindsey Graham said he's not going to sign it. I'm not going to vote for it because he believes it's destroying the military. Rand Paul says he's done with short-term continuing resolutions and thinks we need to get our financial house in order. And there may be one other. On the flip side, you have Joe Manchin, who says he'll vote for CR, and I think one other, maybe Doug Jones, the new Alabama senator.
The other story that's kind of on a parallel track here that has some TNT possibility is this House Intel Committee authorizing the distribution of this classified report that they say details concerns with the conduct of FBI and justice with respect to FISA and other matters, that this will be made available to their colleagues. We just talked to Sean Duffy from Wisconsin. He's going to look at it in an hour. Mark Meadows already calling for it to be released to the public. So the House Republicans, those at least on the House Intel Committee, must think there's something important there that everybody should see.
Yeah, and I think whether it is put out to the public or not, the fact that you have 435 House members able to see it, it essentially will be put out to the public in a short time. They don't do the best job of not leaking things if you're not on one of those Intel committees. So what I think this will be is that the Fusion GPS dossier will have been used to get a FISA warrant on the Trump campaign. And there may be some behind-the-scenes back and forth about who was involved and how, that from the description of it sounds pretty explosive to hear these congressmen talk about it.
And so obviously you'll have to, everything will have to be sort of, well, I shouldn't preordain it, but you have the possibility that we'll have to kind of recast and reorder and relitigate everything that we've been discussing over the last 18 months, potentially with respect to the investigation into the Trump campaign.
Exactly. And it'll be interesting how it's covered. The breathlessness the other way has, obviously taken over a lot of airtime. It'll be interesting to see when and if it comes out, how it's digested by the rest of the media.
He is Bret Baier, Fox News anchor, special report, 5 p.m. Chicago time, weekdays, author of the book 3 Days in January, Dwight Eisenhower's Final Mission. Bret, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good weekend.
You too.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.